Yeah. Cash Color, silence OG. Cash Color Cannabis, a high level of conversation. Back at it on LivehiphopDaily.tv. We got so many people in here, it's hot. It is definitely hot. So if you see your brother sweating, trust me, I'm dark skinned. I'm gonna turn to coffee real soon, man. I finally got my guest in the building. Hey, Nicole.
Hey,
Nicole. I'm not even gonna waste no time, right? Because we it's clearly hot.
Right.
We clearly here to have a celebration. We got champagne.
Hello.
What's up, Siobhan?
To celebrate.
So first thing, let's kick this all into gear, man. Who is Nicole Buffong?
Thanks, first of all, for having me here. I really appreciate it.
No doubt.
Nicole is a woman that is passionate about actually having people know what cannabis really is. Mm-hmm. My goal, my mission is to break the prohibition against cannabis in this country, starting with this country, since this is where I live.
Yeah. Starting with this country.
Right. And so I choose education to do that. That's my weapon of choice.
Okay. No. Well, you pulled out a good weapon. You know what I mean? So I've had a chance to get to know you a little bit over the while. Normally through text messages, and between you and me, I like to be brutally honest with people. I joke sometimes about how you text message me sometimes, because I'm like, Nicole will text me and it'll come in like 6 messages. So I don't know what kind of phone she has. But it stops me from being able to respond. So while you here, I don't egg you. It's just they come in so fast, I don't know which one to respond to. And I figure after a while, she'll just call me.
Yes. The conversation is much better. Yeah. I have been warned about my text messages.
No, it's all good.
Get a little wordy. Yeah.
It's all good. I know that. Because I was like, everybody's phones be different. So it'd be like page after page after page. And right when I'm about to respond, 3 more come through. And I'm like, dang, let me just give up. So, but I got a chance to get to know you. I know how you found your way to cannabis, but I'm not sure if anybody else does know. So explain to us your journey to cannabis and what led you to that, especially medically.
A year ago, last March, I was diagnosed with chronic kidney disease and HIV.
Really?
And that is what catapulted me down this path.
Okay.
To be honest, I needed to figure out how I was not going to be on dialysis in 3 years, and how I was going to be sitting on a beach somewhere in 3 years. The reality of it was, I knew that the more pharmaceuticals that they put me on, the more damage it was doing to other organs in my body. Yeah. The more damage it was doing to myself. And so I had to figure out a way how to treat the virus, treat these kidneys using nutrition and plants. Mm-hmm. I'd already knew about who Dr. Sebi was. I was woke enough to know what all of that means. Yeah. That disease cannot live in an alkaline body, a mucus-free body. So, with that information and with that power, that was my push to really figure out how I was going to help myself. Mm-hmm. And then I realized that my mission, the legacy I'm supposed to leave, is being able to help others.
Got you. So, and how has cannabis been helping you as far as staying healthy and being HIV free and helping with your kidneys?
Well, there is no HIV free, so they say, but that's not what Dr. Sebi says. His science proves that it can be not live in the body or exist in the body, but the struggle has been real. For the first time, I'm paying attention to healthcare and having to understand how all of that works.
And having to pay for it probably too.
Well, the medicine that I need that helps my body fight the HIV, which keeps it dormant, which is something called undetectable in your system, is the one pharmaceutical I take right now, and that's an ART is what they call it, an antiretroviral. Okay. And it costs $2,500 a month. I have to take it once every 24 hours.
So basically, you can live in Buckhead.
Well, where are you supposed to live?
Yeah, like for
$2,500 a month is how much it costs for the one pill that I have to take. So I realized I don't want to be reliable on that pill for the rest of my life. Yeah. There has to be another way, and I know that there is. And so, basically understanding the whole realm of it and knowing that if I want to be a healthy person and do have that dream of retiring at my medical spa in Dominica, then I need to be able to have the strength to do that. I need to be healthy enough to do that. Yeah. And so cannabis helps me to not take pain medicine. So I'm not worried about more damage that I'm doing to my kidneys or any other organs by taking pain medicine when I'm dealing with pain, neuropathy or menstrual pain, thyroid pain, pain that everybody has, that kind of comes with with all of this, right?
Yeah.
So that's what cannabis is helping, and research proves I need to be juicing the plant in its raw form. That's how I need to be consuming it on a daily. I have not.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to doing that,
Yeah.
but it's coming. I haven't had a chance to do that yet, but I heard it really is. It really is that energy. It's that life force. Taking it every day raw like that, it makes a difference. And so, until I can live in a state, I'm fighting for this state. That's why I'm here. Because if we don't elect the right governor in November, then I will have to be forced to be a medical refugee. I'm looking to move to Florida. Like Florida, you can grow plants there, and that's what I need to be doing without having to worry about going to prison.
Okay. Wow, that's a lot.
You know?
That's really a lot. That's actually a part I didn't know.
Yeah.
Was there any fear about coming out about your health status when it comes to looking for this help in the cannabis space? You know what I mean? Because again, dealing with cannabis, I've learned that I want it to be more open, but occasionally I get into a little, I'm gonna use the term elitist.
Yeah.
Like there's a little bit of an elitist feel to a lot of people.
Yes.
Like, did you run into that when you let people know again what you were dealing with and why you were needing this plant and needing this information?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm definitely getting all the different angles that come with this and the politics that come with it all.
Yeah.
You know, just because I want to be a distributor. I feel like you shouldn't go to Walmart and buy your weed. I feel like everybody should be growing weed. They should learn the skill of growing it so that they can use it, consume it the way it's supposed to be consumed.
I don't believe it should be sold. How about that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like everybody should just have it. Like you have salt and pepper. Like you should just have it in your cabinet, like using it like everybody else.
Look, I know I upset somebody.
Like it's supposed to be used.
I know I upset a potential investor when I said that. They was like, "So you don't like money?" I was like, "No, I love money. I just understand common sense. Like, why would I have to pay for this? This is natural. I should be able to grow this."
Well, the U.S. government bought a patent on it, so they figured out how to get paid for it.
I chalk it up almost like aloe vera. Like my dad used to have aloe vera plants when I was a kid. He would just crack that open, and you know what I'm saying, rather than do anything else. If I have an aloe vera plant in my house, why can't I have a weed plant?
That's right. That's right. That's what I think. So that's what I'm fighting for.
Okay, well,
for everybody.
And you're fighting a good fight with that. And I know that you're attached with Minorities for Medical Marijuana. My good friend Roz McCarthy.
Yes.
Oh man, both
love
of us.
Roz. Yeah.
Speak to me about how you got connected with Minorities for Medical Marijuana, and what is your role with them currently?
So I'm the Georgia chapter president for Minorities for Medical Marijuana. Okay. We're a nonprofit organization. We have 17 chapters around the country. We just added Jamaica, which we're really excited about. Shout out to Billy down in Jamaica.
Hey,
Jamaica is now legal, y'all.
Does that mean a vacation?
If you didn't know, Jamaica is, yes.
Does that mean a vacation?
They got resorts down there.
Does that mean a vacation?
Hell yes. I already told Roz. I told Roz, we going down there for the 3rd year anniversary.
Tia, what up? Mighty Jamaica, what up? We coming. What you mean? We coming. I didn't know that.
Yes.
But you don't know I didn't know that. But I don't take it serious because I feel like, again, with Jamaica, you've been doing it so long, y'all should really be free.
Jamaica, well, the thing is, they really haven't quite figured out the kinks yet because obviously it's part of the culture there.
Yeah, so that's what I say.
The government is so intertwined already with the corruption of surrounding that plant that they're still working on the kinks, but it is technically legal now. And so them removing that particular plant from the fabric of the corruption that has been going on there for generations is being a little challenging, but they're going to figure it out.
Hey, briefly, this is kind of me veering off course. I don't know if you've seen Snoop Dogg's Resurrection DVD where he went to Jamaica and became, what is it?
Snoop Lion. Snoop Lion, yeah.
There was a scene in there where Daz smoked some weed that they grew. Like these old heads was growing. They was just smoking it like it was nothing. Daz takes one hit. I thought that dude was gonna die. You saw it? I thought he was gonna die. He took one hit. He couldn't stop coughing. I'm looking like you sitting around 80-year-old people and they sitting there choking the same thing. You took one puff.
That banana leaf ain't no joke.
Nah, the banana leaves are nice.
It's no joke.
Oh man.
Smoke that raw bud. That bud is still wet when it comes off the tree.
Look, so Minorities for Medical Marijuana, again, they do an amazing job in Florida as far as helping get an Amendment 2 passed.
Right.
What is your initiative here in Georgia? Like what are you trying to work on down here?
Yes. So for Georgia, everybody is at different stages around the country. So for Georgia, we're focusing on safe access. Yeah. For patients. There are over 4,000 patients in the state of Georgia right now that have registered with the state to use cannabis to help treat their illnesses. Yeah. So if you qualify by having one of the 17 diseases, and now just added to that list is PTSD and chronic pain, then you qualify to use cannabis oil to help treat your disease. And so that safe access to the plant is one of our goals. That's the mission. We need, which equates cultivation.
Here's the tricky part. Yeah, cultivation.
Where do you get it from in
Georgia?
That you can. Yeah. And that's the thing. So the law allows us to possess it, but there's nowhere for us to get it. Yeah. And any way that or form you go about getting it, you're committing a crime.
Yeah.
So safe access, justice, meaning we want statewide decriminalization. Stop playing. Different municipalities, you've got 4 right now that have changed their laws for their area because they know that overwhelmingly too many black and brown people are being arrested for possession of marijuana. It's just a fact. And so they actually changed the law just to adhere to that. It needs to be statewide. Yeah. Stop arresting, locking us up for possession of this plant. Yeah. And jobs is our third initiative, making sure people understand and are aware and educated about the different ancillary jobs that are available to start right now. You don't need to live in a state that is legal in order to start an ancillary business.
Hey, can we salute Atlanta? Like, we have a city right now where, and you know her, I'm gonna shout out other shows. We literally have Cash Colored Cannabis. There's your show.
Yes.
There's a tattoo in them doing their thing. We got my man Dotsby's doing his thing with Cool Stoner Nerds. Yeah. Atlanta has really grasped the concept of we don't need this to be legal in order for us to talk about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I kind of wanted to see the fact that we don't see that in recreational states blows my mind. Yeah. That black people haven't got together in recreational states and said, let's do what Cash Colored Cannabis is doing.
Well, it's okay. It's all right to be to stand out. We're in a prohibition state, and we are talking about cannabis more than any other state.
Serious, and to the point where we've had politicians on, and that's where I want to segue to this next question.
Okay.
We've had politicians on this show who have come on and spoke about their support of cannabis and things they want to do. Primarily, we had Kwanzaa Hall come on.
Yeah.
And when he was running for mayor, he announced his decriminalization bill that he wanted to pass, the marijuana ordinance, quote unquote. Since that has gone through, we have heard nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when speak to me as far as speak to me because I feel like I'm not the only one out here who is hesitant to get involved politically when it comes to this type of situation because of things like that.
Right.
I'm nervous about people trying to use your voice and use your power just to
get
themselves.
The vote,
yeah,
right?
Just for themselves. Because I really want to see that happen. Like I was really wanting to see that happen.
Well, the thing is that we do have to hold these elected officials accountable.
Oh, I want to bring him back on the show and hold him accountable.
Well, the thing is, he didn't get to be the mayor.
Nah, he don't need to be the mayor to be held accountable to what you said, though.
Well, the bail thing he did do, right? They did because it was her, right? Yeah, well, she was the one that had to decide to do it, but the ordinance got passed, right? And that was huge for Atlanta.
It was.
And you had South Fulton and Savannah that followed.
It was one of the few times I was able to see High Times and Mary Jane talk about Atlanta, like when they said that happened.
Exactly. We got on the cannabis map for They
didn't post our interview though. You know what I mean? They just kind of bypassed that part. They bypassed that whole part. Yeah, I was laughing. I was like, all you writers follow me, but y'all bypassed that part.
Well, the thing is, what we understand about the power of the vote is what we saw, and I bring this up because it's a perfect example, and it just happened a few months ago. What happened in Alabama, we cannot let that just slide by like it didn't happen. In a special election, 96% of black women showed up, and that's the reason Doug Jones won that election.
And also, I want to make another point on top of that. The fact that woman got drugged the way she did in Waffle House in Alabama, I fully expected Democrats to stand up because, like you made a point, 96% of black women, 94% of black men are why you don't have Roy Moore.
Yes.
Because apparently, everybody else in that state was pretty cool with a child molester.
Real cool. Yes, they had no qualms about it.
And that goes back to my apprehension when it comes to politics. I was really expecting the Democrats to step up, and I'm still waiting. Here we are, like a month away. I'm still waiting for them to say something.
Once it's passed, once it's gotten out of the news, there's no way they're talking about it.
And that's sad because I try to tell somebody that, like, yo, watch this silence on the fact that they haven't said nothing about this Waffle House thing, but there's votes coming down. Watch how quick they knock on your door to tell you how important your vote is.
That's right. So we know that it works.
Yeah, so we know
because nobody was really, if you were campaigning to them, they saw the situation and they showed up, which they say we don't do. They were not counting on that.
No.
So I think rigged system or not, when you show up, it matters.
Let me tell you, and I think we need to flip it on the other side. I've said for years, pull out of Republicans, pull out of Democrats, and be independent, and see how quick they actually work for you. Drop their numbers because right now they both parties have been really It's almost like we could just throw it. Like even look at even Donald Trump. You believe that you could yell out, "I'm a pardon Muhammad Ali," despite the fact he wasn't convicted. I'm a pardon Muhammad Ali, almost like it was going to be some secret and all black people were going to cheer. That's how easy they believe it is to get at us. I feel like at some point we need to be like,
without a doubt, just knew he was going to be the man after that.
Yeah, like you knew that. Like I got Kanye on my team. Black people gonna love me. I'm looking like, bro, at what point are we gonna say let's pull out and then make them come to us?
Right.
Like we gotta, like we talking about the table.
Right.
We can't be asking for a seat in the table and a seat in your room.
Your own damn table.
What I'm gonna do is bring my table. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna sit my table right here.
Yes.
And I'm gonna wait for you to come to said table.
Right.
But that's my opinion.
Yeah. And that's the magnet that we should have, because there has to be somebody being the voice for us, talking about what's really happening and affects our communities.
Hey, Poet, you right, man. Look, they keep, again, 96% of black women, but there's also 94% of black men in Alabama who did the work. But the Democrats gave us zero, fucks. You know what I'm saying? Later.
Fucks, right.
Gave us zero fucks later, so it really doesn't matter. But anywho, man, we got an initiative we're going to be working on ourselves.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Where we're going to speak up and we're going to, I'll let you speak about it. We're going to be talking about what now here at Cash Color Cannabis and in Live Hip Hop Daily in July.
This campaign, initiative that we are focusing on education, empowering our young adults, those that are just coming into the voting market, into the voting demographic, 18 to 25, just making sure how important and how much you recognize that if we elect the right governor, we could be talking about cultivation in this state within 2 to 3 years.
Yes.
That's huge. Okay, those are the kind of initiatives that can happen based on the governor that we elect. Yeah,
and that's something we're going to be doing. We're going to actually bring out a group of kids. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to have that conversation here. It's going to be a live episode.
Yes.
And we're going to speak about some topics that actually are interesting to them. And as you know, again, I don't want to hit this in the head. I'm apprehensive about co-signing anybody. Yeah. I'll tell somebody now, like, I really wish I could have flipped and gave some more support for Vincent Ford. Like, to watch Vincent Ford actually jump up 7 points at the election. Yeah. Not only did that say how much Keisha Lance Bottoms and Mary Norwood weren't really winning, but that said a lot about how much people actually want something different.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
That man can go from 5% to 12% in a vote.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, real people went out and voted for you.
Yeah.
That's real, man.
That is real, yeah. And so that's what I'm saying. Your vote counts. Mm-hmm. It does. It adds all up.
Good reminder that don't let something jade you from voting. Like, your vote counts. Just make sure you put it behind somebody who matters.
And that's what this is about. Yeah. That's what this campaign, it's an issue-based campaign. Georgia Votes for Bud. Yeah. That is the name of the campaign, and it really is focusing on the 3 things I talked about: safe access, justice, meaning statewide decriminalization, and jobs. We want to empower you with the information to help you build a business. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be in a state that it's legal right now. So think about what you can do to be a part of this industry without ever touching the plant. Yeah. And the answer to that is solve the problems of this industry. When you're doing your Google searches, when you're researching, look up what is a problem of cannabis industry. Like, Google that and see what comes up.
My favorite one, security.
Yeah, that was such an easy solution. Listen, the guys who make the plastic bottles that everybody sells in the dispensaries all over the country, the little plastic medicine type bottles. Yeah. Needs to be made. Millionaires, okay? Yeah. They stupid money, and all they make is little plastic bottles, right? Yeah. And so you have to think about what are the problems that are arising as this industry grows. We're in its infancy stages. 29 states are legal medicinally, 9 states are legal recreationally. So that's huge. Yeah, that's huge. More than half when we're talking about medical marijuana, that laws that they changed on their books to adhere to the needs of their citizens. Yeah, yeah. And if we vote the right governor, we could be next. Because right now, technically, Georgia is not. Yeah. We don't qualify because we want to limit the amount of THC you can have in 20 fluid ounces of oil.
Well, right now we have a governor candidate, Stacey Abrams, who has mentioned that she's for legalization.
Yes.
She's pro
cultivation. Yes. Yeah, and statewide decriminalization.
So that'll be a good person, at least I'm from conversation so far. Yeah. That'll be a good person to get behind.
Absolutely. We know for a fact that both of the Republican candidates have both said the same thing that Deal has been saying the last 4 years, which is that we need to take this fight to a federal level. So he refuses to allow cultivation or decriminalization. He doesn't want to have a conversation about it at all.
Yo, and the worst part is when you bring it to a federal level, then you got to see the other people we deal with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the other folks, man. It's just insane, man.
Yeah, it is.
So, but I love the work you're doing. I'm glad to finally have you on here.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'm
pleasure.
gonna be on your podcast.
Yay.
Let's talk about your podcast. Man. Like, eventually, I'm gonna be on your show. Let's talk about your podcast.
Thank you. So, I am a much younger podcast than I'm nowhere near my 100th episode. We're about on episode 16, but it's really what I've been talking about. It's about educating the listener, the consumer, making sure you understand the history. Before 1937, cannabis was in the U.S. pharmacopoeia. You could walk into a pharmacy and get it prescribed for pain. Those kind of things, that important information, knowing why it was eliminated from our society 81 years ago. And so I have that, and Cannabis Connection World podcast is the name of the podcast. And my brand, Cannabis Connection World, is really focused. It's a platform to allow the podcast to be my efforts in becoming a cannabis media, but also a responsible journalist in that space.
Amen.
And then also providing the service of getting people the information that they need. Yeah. If you need help getting your THC card, I'm in Georgia right now, so I'm focused on Georgia because it's a lot going on all over the country. But for Georgia, if you need help getting your THC card, if you got to find the right doctors, there's only a couple hundred doctors in the state. Yeah. Dr. Hodge being one of them.
Dr. Hodge.
Shout out. But there's a few hundred, but finding the right one is key. You can't just go to your doctor and ask them. They have to be certified to treat using cannabis. Yes. And then making sure that you have the right means to understand what kind of product you're using. CBD is legal to buy and sell in all 50 states, buy, sell, and consume in all 50 states. The DEA deemed it so. If it's industrial hemp, if it's derived from industrial hemp. But you don't want the industrial hemp that you get at the Shell gas station, or it's not industrial hemp, it's CBD extract.
Or at 5 Points.
No, you don't want that one.
5 Points, dude. I thought that was hilarious.
That's not what you want. So you want to understand that if you're taking something medicinally, like a client that I have, he spoke up earlier, 8-month-old Emmanuel is taking a hemp oil that helps stop his seizures. His rare epileptic disorder that none of the medications would work for this hemp oil helps him to be able to live a quality of life.
I wish he was old enough to speak.
I do too. I'm sure he has some stories to tell. But it's those kind of people that I'm concerned with, that I want to make sure that they're getting what they need. If we're talking about his mom doesn't need to go to the gas station to buy CBD. No. So that's important, that education. So that's what Cannabis Connection World does. And we host events. We've got the podcast and making sure we're staying involved with our communities. That's important.
You definitely are. You came and kicked it with me last night at iLounge.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. Oh, I didn't speak about that.
Where is it? We got to display it.
I should have brought it. I should have brought it. Yeah, last night I got awarded a plaque, actually, and I was surprised.
Yes, it was a nice surprise.
Right, that was definitely a nice surprise, man. But yeah, so you came and kicked it with me too. That was a nice surprise.
Yeah, and I brought presents. So I brought you your official M4M because he is part of our cannabis media for M4M. He's a member, one of our VIP members. we got plenty of members in the house actually tonight, but it always is a pleasure to be able to grow I'm just a few months into this, right? It does my heart good to see us grow as a family, because that's kind of what it's like. And the empowerment movement, the tribe that we're building, it's so that we can change lives, because that's what it's about. My goal is to increase the health and wellness of my community for generations to come.
Awesome, man.
Using cannabis.
Let me tell you something. I'm blessed that you came through. I'm glad we finally got a chance to connect.
Absolutely.
And have you on
so glad
the show.
to be here.
Before we fade out, let people know how they can actually catch up with you if they do want to get more information on minorities medical marijuana, if they want to know more about the podcast or anything else.
Yeah. So CannabisConnectionWorld.com is how you can find me. Cannabis Connection World on Instagram. Podcast, the same thing. And Twitter is Canacon World. I had to play with the words on that one.
Yeah.
But we've got an at CannabisConnectionWorld.com. We'll let you know we've got an event coming up on the 29th of this month. It's the ABCs of CBD is our theme.
Oh,
for
yeah.
So
and it's on the Instagram page.
it is, right. And so we're going to be really digging deep into what hemp is and what CBD is and what it does on a real medicinal level, and talking to some experts in the industry that are going to be blessing us with their presence. And for MM at Vote Yes for Bud. And our website is M4, the number 4, MMUnited.org is our website for minorities for medical marijuana.
Well, Nicole, thank you for coming through.
No, thank you so much for having me.
100th episode filming right here, man.
Congratulations again.
No problem.
Yeah.
And you know what? And you actually brought up a good point.
Yeah.
That when you Google and you start thinking about trying to get into the cannabis industry, find a problem that needs a solution.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
I
you
feel
have
like
a business.
one great thing that we've done in Atlanta is we found a solution to a problem, which is there's no media for people of color in this space. You know what I'm saying? So
we created one.
Yeah, so we created
a couple
one.
of different platforms.
We did. We created different platforms, and they're all needed because they're all different voices.
Yes,
you know what
that's
I mean?
right.
And that's amazing, man.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate you coming out today.
Yes.
After we fade out, I'm gonna actually show y'all a recap video that me and my man Danny Digital worked on, called the 100th episodes. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
Like where we kind of just speak, and we don't show you all 100, but we just kind of speak about some of the more fun times. We display some drops that we got from some of our favorite people. Shout out to Shanita Penny. Shout out to my man Bong Burgundy from Nug Nation. To know they did an animated drop for me, it was dope as fuck, man. So we're gonna check out that. We're gonna check out that after all this is done, and we're gonna have a good time session up and celebrating this 100th episode.
Yes.
Thank you for coming by, Nicole.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for all that. Before I get out of here, my man, bro. Thank you for letting me bring a bunch of hooligans and roughnecks, degenerates, lowlifes, all the types to come through here once a week and take up space, smoke weed, and discuss all kind of topics, man. I really appreciate you. Thank you. No, seriously, thank you for real what you do with Live Hip Hop Daily, man. Like, yes. I told you know, man. We spoke last week about the whole Atlanta media thing, and I'm like, one thing that's missing is no matter where you are and wherever you are as far as media, you need a place to be able to do what you do. You know what I'm saying? And what Live Hip Hop Daily does is provide a platform for not just myself, but many other creatives out here to create their voice and make their voice something that's their own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So again, I like to applaud my man. I would not be here 100 episodes deep. I would not be booked for July. I would not be none of that without this man giving me a cosign and saying,
that's what's up.
Yeah, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, cool. Sounds like a good idea. So I appreciate you, Herbie. We're going to fade out. Like I said, we're going to watch this recap video. Shout out to my man, Danny Digital. He is not here tonight, but Digital, like I say, you always here in spirit with me, my brother. He edited the hell out of that project, and I really loved it. It's inspired by Seinfeld's 100th episode, to be honest with you. So we actually sat there and chopped that up. We didn't knock it out whole way, you know what I'm saying? We're not $1 million production company. What we did, we did.
No doubt. I can't wait to see it.
No problem. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you everybody for watching tonight. When you tune in and when you actually get your alert on Wednesday, maybe Thursday morning, that's going to be number 100. So I thank you everybody for subscribing with us, rocking with us. Thank you everybody who subscribes to Live Hip Hop Daily, everybody who gets the Live Hip Hop Daily app, who actually watches us and tells me about it. Like, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Again, be told about it while we're in Austin. To have somebody run up on me last week out the blue, cool. Shirtless on a bike and say, yo, you the dude from the internet. I know your show. I can't think of the name.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying? That's dope as shit, man. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I appreciate everybody for supporting us. We got another 100,000 episodes to come, and they're going to be even better. Hopefully, we're going to take this whole studio and bring it over to Adult Swim one day. Maybe Vice. I don't know, man. Y'all got to cut a real check. But Adult Swim, y'all can. Y'all down the street. Come bring us over here, man. We got plenty of content for y'all. But that's Cash Color Canvas, a high level of conversation on Live Hip Hop Daily. We about to function.
Yeah, it's a party.
Appreciate everybody. We out.
Whoop, whoop.